I'm not going to hold you too long tonight because we know what we have ahead of us. We've missed the finals the last 4 years. That's not good enough. We want to make the finals. We want to play great football. We want to play in the finals in the netball. We want to continue on with the great pre-season that we've had, and we want to get stuck into representing this club and delivering the results that not only we expect, but that we demand. But not only that, we need to get behind our team. This is the time. Often, you know, we all love it when we're winning, and we had a fantastic run. The AFL rules dictate that unless you've got special assistants and different things that happen, you do have your ups and downs, and we have had ours. We are ready to go again, and this is where true Collingwood supporters stand up. The people here who used to feel the cold of the wet, of the rain drizzling down the back of their neck at Old Victoria Park, those who caught the trains, no creature comforts, but died in the terraces, didn't stand there bagging blokes and having a go. And one thing that I really find really hard these days is when I see our players really having a go and people having a shot at them, they find out the next week they played a game with a broken hand or a broken, fractured vertebrae or something. Our guys have a go. You guys don't see the rooms after a disappointing loss, just how hard the players take it. But what we do is we celebrate when we win. But this is the time for us to pick a young player and go, right, he's going to be mine for the next 10, 15 years. Just as I did with number 6 over there, Peter McKenna. Right? Just as I did, just as Brian Taylor did, just as all of you at some stage. You know, I mentioned Tasmania. What's the first thing I think of when I think of Tasmania? I think of John Greening. I think of Graham Wright. I think of these great champions. Paul Williams have come to our clubs over the years. I think of all... Who's that? Doug Barwick. I think of Dougie Barwick from the 1990 side. Have I got a further bid over here, ladies and gentlemen? I think of all those great Collingwood people who mean so much to us. I've watched these guys train. I've seen what's happened in the last months at our club, to see the way they've responded to the coach Nathan Buckley, to see the response of the players to the reappointment of Nathan Buckley. I've seen Jeff Walsh agonise, to sweat blood in making hard decisions, in coming up with a blueprint for what we believe will take our club to where we want to go. I've seen Peter Murphy agonise over changes in our administration, an administration that delivered unbelievable success. The greatest season in 2011 as far as win-losses are concerned. A premiership in 2010. Preliminary final after preliminary final, great times. We've got to get back into that again. Built this place, debt-free, no help from anyone. A pride that we should all have here tonight. This is our place. This is our home. This is our club. And this year, we have 2 women's football teams representing the future of sport. Young women playing for Collingwood. As I said, some of the greatest athletes in the country representing Australia and then coming back and pulling on with as much pride the black and white stripes of Collingwood on the netball court. And of course, the Magpie roar when our boys run out to play for Collingwood. In the VFL, at Victoria Park, our spiritual home, or at the MCG, where we collect the silverware. That's what it's about at Collingwood. Standing by each other, side by side, we stick together. We have the only theme song that acknowledges the supporters. See the barrackers are shouting, as all barrackers should. Not fair weather supporters, one in all in at Collingwood. That's the club I've barracked for all my life. That's the club I'm proud to be the president of, and that's the club that will represent us in 2018. To each of the players here tonight, you receive the greatest honour you can possibly have, to be presented with the black and white stripes of the Collingwood Football Club in our home. To look across at the MCG and know that you'll have the Magpie Army behind you. To be led by one of our greatest ever players. To have the support of Kevin Rose, who's seen it all, the Thurl Merritts, the people in this room. But most importantly, this is the club of the people. This is the club that never turns its back on the downtrodden. This is the club that doesn't put the prices up but gives our money in tough times to make sure that 300 people tonight sleep in Collingwood houses who would have been sleeping under a bridge or being on the receiving end of the most horrific domestic violence. This is the club that feeds 3,000 people every week and on Christmas Day opens its heart and opens its door to the people of Victoria who have no friends except for the Collingwood Football Club, because in the toughest of times, we stand side by side. We stand side by side and we stick together. So this is a rallying cry. This is a rallying cry. I don't want to see people drop their heads. There might be times where we get beaten. We might get beaten badly, but we're going to fight. But you know what? We're going to turn it around. We're going to win too. We're going to win big games. And these young men, I've got full faith, will represent this Collingwood Football Club as it has always been since 1892. If we get beaten, we don't get broken-hearted. We fight for every inch that we have, just as this club has always done. It started because we wouldn't give an inch. We were the most downtrodden people in society, and we lifted and became the biggest club in the country. Now we have to make sure that we continue that tradition and go to the next phase. I'm so proud of this organisation. I would rather not be standing up here having missed the finals the last 4 years, clearly. I loved it a lot when I stood up here and said, here's the Premiership Cup. That was a lot more fun, I can tell you. But the essence of sport is this. It's not how you get knocked down, it's how you get back up. If you hang around sports clubs long enough, those signs on the wall actually become more than signs. Mick Moldash used to say, his sign used to say, those were the most invested are the last to surrender. Well, we've invested our lives in this club. The players have invested a huge pre-season. They're ready to go. We will never surrender. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Collingwood Football Club. Flory et Pica, may the mighty Magpie flourish. Have a great night.